Hello, in this lesson we're going to look at solving rational equations. So let's look at a first example here. Let's say 5 over x plus 2 is equal to 4 over x minus 1. Now to start this off we want to look at the restrictions. So looking at the denominator in the first term, x plus 2 cannot equal 0, which means x cannot equal negative 2. In this second term here, we have x minus 1. Well, that in the denominator, that cannot equal 0, which means x cannot equal 1. So those are our two restrictions. Okay, now to solve this means to solve for the variable, in this case solve for x. Our variable here is x. So we want to find out what is that value of x that makes this equality or this equation true. So in order to do that, we're going to cross multiply. So here we're going to multiply 5 by x minus 1, and that is equal to 4. We're going to multiply this by x plus 2. So let's expand or distribute and then simplify. So 5x minus 5 equal to 4x plus 8. Okay, now let's go ahead and combine like terms. So we're going to subtract 4x from both sides. That gives us x here. Minus 5 is equal to 8. Now let's add 5 to both sides. So we get x is equal to 13. And we can go ahead and double check that. So let's go ahead here and we'll use orange to check. Whoops, that didn't work. Orange, there we go. Okay, let's check. So this would be 5 over 13 plus 2 is equal to 4 over 13 minus 1. Well, 5 over 15, that's equal to 3. Is that the same as 4 over 12? Yes, it is. So 3 equals 3, and 13 is our answer. Okay, let's look at another example here. So let's suppose that we have 4x, let's do that a little bit better. 4x minus 3 over 2x plus 1 equal to 2x plus 1 over x minus 4. Now again, let's start off with our restrictions. So our restrictions here are that 2x plus 1 cannot equal 0. This means that x cannot equal negative 1/2. Also, for the denominator in the second term, x minus 4 cannot equal 0, so x cannot equal 4. So those are our two restrictions for this. Okay, let's go ahead and solve. Now, again, we're going to cross multiply here. So we're going to cross multiply. So this gives us 4x minus 3. I'm putting brackets around this because we're going to have to FOIL. So 4x minus 3 times x minus 4. This is equal to 2x plus 1. And this will be squared or times 2x plus 1. Okay, now we're going to FOIL this. So this gives us 4x squared. Minus 16x minus 3x gives us minus 19x, and then plus 12. Here we get 4x squared plus 2x is plus 4x plus 1. Now, if we divide both sides here by not divide, but if we subtract 4x squared from both sides, those both cancel. Now let's add 19x to both sides to isolate x. So So that leaves us with 12 equal to 23x plus 1. Now let's subtract 1 from both sides to get 11 equal to 23x, and dividing by 23 gives us x equal to 11 over 23. Okay, now we should go ahead and double check that, and if you plug that x equal to 11 over 23 into x in that equation, you'll find that that does in fact equal, and the equation is true. So you should always just double check that. Okay, let's look at where there's more than one term. So let's look at another example here. In this example, let's suppose we have 4 over a equal to 1 over 2 plus 3 over 5a. So we have more than one term here. Now, if we wanted to look at the restrictions first, the restrictions here for a cannot equal 0. So that's really our only restriction here. So to solve this, we need to find the lowest common denominator. So what is the lowest common denominator in this case? Well, we have an a, we have a 2, and we have a 5a. A is common here to this term and this term, so our lowest common denominator then will be 2 times 5 times a, or 10a. So now we're going to multiply each term by 10a. So we have 4 times 10a over a equal to 1 times 10a over 2 plus 3 times 10a over 5a. Okay, so let's see what we can cancel. So in this first term, the a's cancel, and we're left with 40. In this term here, the 2 cancels here, and this becomes 5, so we're left with 5a. And here, the a's cancel, 5 cancels here with the 10, this becomes 2, and we're left with 6. So now, let's subtract 6 from both sides, and here we get 5a is equal to 34. So now that leaves us dividing both sides by 5. We have a is equal to 34 over 5. Okay, and again, you should double check this and plug this back into the original equation, and you should get the correct answer. Okay, 34 over 5 is A. Okay, now let's do one more question here, slightly harder question. Okay, in this question here, we have 9 over y minus 3 minus 4 over y minus 6 is equal to 18 over y squared minus 9y plus 18. So again, we need to find the lowest common denominator, and in order to do that, we have to factor this term. Okay. If we factor this term, this will give us y minus 3, y minus 6. So I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite this as 9 over y minus 3 minus 4 over y minus 6 is equal to 18 over y minus 3, y minus 6. So we can see that our lowest common denominator is y minus 3 over y minus 6. So we're going to multiply each term by that. So here, 9 times y minus 3, y minus 6 over y minus 3, minus 4 over, 4 times y minus 3, y minus 6, all over y minus 6 is equal to 18, and then y minus 3, y minus 6, all over y minus 3, y minus 6. So you can see here that the y minus 3's cancel from this first term. So that leaves us with 9 times y minus 6. In this second term, the y minus 6 cancels, and we're left with 4 times y minus 3. And in this last term, they both cancel, and we're left with 18. So again, let's go ahead and distribute. So here we get 9y minus 54. Minus 54, that's better. And minus 4y, now we're distributing the minus here as well, so this becomes plus 12, is equal to 18. So let's combine like terms. So this gives us 5y minus 42 is equal to 18. Let's add 42 to both sides to give us 5y equal to 60. Dividing by 5 gives us y is equal to 12. And again, put that into the original equation. And if you do that, checking when y equals 12, you should get the correct answer. One thing we didn't do on this question was look at the restrictions here. Here we go. Let me just put those restrictions in. So here are restrictions. Y minus 3 cannot equal 0, so y cannot equal 3. And y minus 6 cannot equal 0, so y cannot equal 6. And those are our restrictions.